Test. Good morning. Lovely fall morning. I can't think of anything else that's going on today. Can anybody? All right, where is everybody? We have a new message, a new memo that just came down from up above. It is a mortal sin not to come to service on Sunday. I'm just saying. So, want to cover your bases, then you might want to reconsider this whole thing. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown. We are so glad that you have joined us today. Now, last week, you know what happens when you try to do something and make a special shout out to somebody? What happens? You forget somebody else. You say, hey. Well, I did that last week. I said Don does a great job, and he does. Helps us set up in the morning. But so does Dean, and I forgot to mention that. And then I said hi to the people online because I always forget to do that, and so I wanted to do that. And I happened to mention one person. I said, now, I know pretty consistently there are other people that show up online. So I said, maybe I should mention them. Let's go with, I said Mag and Jean. Let's go with Claudia Robinson. She's probably watching. Let's go with Mary and Daniel. Mary used to be here. Let's go with who else watches us consistently? Oh, we're supposed to tell them that to try to chat, right? Rosa Maria? I call her Rosa Maria. Yeah, because when they're over there monitoring the stream, they can see how many people are on, but they don't know who they are. And so it would be nice to just say, hi, good morning, and say, yes, I am so-and-so. So, oh gosh, I know there's others. Oh, whatever. Anyway, I tried. So unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We have a unique way of looking at things. Today I'm going to share a lesson that I've never done. It's called At the Home of Martha and Mary. So we are also very much love-centered, and we are all-inclusive. We have an open heart. We have an open mind, and we are the blending of Eastern, Western thought, philosophy, science, transcendentalism, power of the mind. All these things came together in the late 1800s, and the whole New Thought movement came out of it, and unity was one of those things that came out of it. We also are very practical in the sense that we have spiritual tools, because it's like anything else. I keep saying it over. I've been talking about repetition over and over for the last few months. That's how we learn things, by repeating things. So we have tools that aid you in this process, because the more you do something, the better you get at it. We also draw and honor from all paths to spirit, and that is because our fundamental teaching is oneness, that all is one. Everything is connected. And now we know scientifically that that is very much true. And that's not some woo-woo idea that sounds real nice. It is actually true. And what I do affects you, and what you do affects me, and vice versa, and all over the world. We also believe that we live in an interactive universe, where all of this connectivity it's a yin and yang, breathing in, breathing out activities constantly going on. So it's really a wonderful place. We don't have any dogma or creed, but we do have 5 principles that guide our philosophy. And recently we went through those 5 principles, and I'm going to start arbitrarily just calling people out and say, stand up, give me the 5 principles right now. No, I don't want to do that. Anyway, we're very happy that you've joined us this morning for the opening day of Well, kind of was Thursday, but NFL football, no big deal. So I want you to join me now in our mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, inspiring and empowering individual and global transformation as exemplified by the life and the teachings of Jesus. Now, our announcements.
All right. Good morning. Is it not the most glorious morning ever?
It was rather crisp this morning.
Very crisp. If you're here for the first time, we would like to extend a special welcome. If you're comfortable, please raise your hand or stand up so we can say hi. Hi, come on. Can we have your name?
Hi there.
Patty? Oh, it's nice to meet you, Patty. Where are you from? You are from Georgetown. Great. Anyone else?
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, welcome, and we hope you feel welcome and choose to make Unity Spiritual Center of Georgetown your spiritual home. All right, announcements. Unity's 31st Annual World Day of Prayer is this week, starting on September 11. This year's theme is Fueled by Faith, I Can Move Mountains. There are special forms on the welcome table today, and our prayer chaplains will submit them for you. Your intentions will be held by Unity's prayer ministry in a special World Day of Prayer vigil. The newsletter sent this past Friday has links in it to enroll in the live events and other downloads. Patriot Day is also this Wednesday. We honor and commemorate the sacrifices made that day by remembering the heroes, armed forces, first responders, and countless others whose acts of sacrifice defended our nation's freedom. Our next Let's Get Metaphysical and last.
For now.
Okay, that is an announcement.
Yes, it is.
It's in Legacy Hills Park this Wednesday.
Not that one, I'm sorry. Yes, never mind.
Scratch it,
downtown.
delete.
The downtown.
Yeah. Start again. Our next Let's Get Metaphysical is in Legacy Hills Park this Wednesday, September the 11th at 9:30. Please come and join the discussion. An alternate site, if needed due to weather, is graciously provided by Anne at her home. The Let's Get Metaphysical downtown. I'm sorry, it just isn't without Dan, you know. Anyways, it is scheduled on Tuesday, September 17th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Grace Heritage Center. For those that have not attended yet, we'd love to have you join us. There's plenty of parking and seating space, and we have a great time learning and sharing together. We hope to see you there. And that's the last one.
For now. Yes.
For now. Okay. For the season. All right. There are many fund and fellowship activities coming up. The first, the fourth Sunday USCG Fellowship Lunch, will be held after service on September the 22nd at 12:30 at the Chili's restaurant on I-35 Frontage Road. We don't feel the need for reservations, so just plan to come and join us. Also, please check the newsletter for many save the dates notices that are coming. The details will be coming in the weeks ahead. The book club returns in just 2 weeks. Tuesday, September 24th, we will be meeting at the conference room across from the farmers market at 10 a.m. Plan to stay for lunch afterwards across the street at the city market. And I think it lists the book. They didn't put it in my notes, sorry. Okay. For those that have put off till tomorrow what they should have done yesterday, this is a reminder to purchase your book for Reverend Tommy's upcoming class on Integral Christianity, The Spirit's Call to Evolve by Paul Smith. There is a sign-up sheet on the welcome table for those interested.
Yes,
Also note on Amazon they have a Kindle version too. Okay, details will be coming for more. Now, we have an announcement from Nancy Ananda, who would like to take a moment to tell us about the Caring Place. Nancy?
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, I am Nancy Ananda, and let me know if I'm too loud or too soft, because I really am deaf. I can't hear myself. So anyway, I was asked about 3-4 months ago to represent the Unity Church in Georgetown. And so I accepted. I went, oh, why not? You know, so I went to the board meetings, and I was extremely impressed with what they all do. They have many different departments, and people give all the time. And I want to thank you to begin with, everybody here that has given donations to Caring Place. It has helped a lot. They have a place where you can go and give things, and then people can go shopping there. There's like 183 volunteers that work in their store, and it's all volunteer. And they have many different, there are like 13 different churches that are involved in this, as well as Unity. And they all are offering many times money and many times food. And one of the things that we're asking for this week, or month even, and even though you've given so many cereals and different food, they're asking for cream of mushroom soup and cream of chicken soup, you know. So I thought, well, that was interesting. You know, they had never asked for that before. And as well as food or clothing. The people that volunteer their services in their store, it ends up, they do sort of like 55,000 hours, and they end up saving $1.7 million that they don't have to pay help. It's all volunteer. And all the departments in Caring Place are volunteer. Nobody gets any money. And all of these directors really do a really good job. And they have many, many programs and services. And some of them, of course, is the food pantry. People can go in there and get food and not have to pay for it. They have a case management program where you are able to get money to go to work for transportation. So they give people money if they have a car that doesn't work. And of course, they have to be proven that they really need this service. And that's what the case management program is about. And so what else? Oh, they give so many services. And one of them is, besides the food pantry that they can go to every day except Sunday, they have where you can get fresh fruit, which is wonderful. I know when I go shopping for fresh fruit, I look at apple costs so much. You know, I go, oh my goodness. But I'm able to buy some grapes and apple, you know. And these people don't have the money to go get fresh fruit. So that service is offered the 3rd and 5th Monday of the month from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And I was there one day watching, and there were 125 people that got fruit that day. And it's an amazing program. They did start in 1985. Another service they have is free laundry. People can go twice a week. No, it's twice a month, and they can get their clothes washed and dried, and that's a free service that one of the churches offers. We also, I have so many little notes here. Also, there's 9,744 individuals, which is 3,583 households that receive services there. And out of those services, 35% are under 18. That surprised me when I discovered that. 18% were 55 plus, and then 8% were homeless. So they help with the homeless. They find a place for them to live, and of course, they are supported through food and clothing and household goods. And so they serve many people. Now, 64% increase from the first quarter to this quarter. That's how many people are going there. That's how many people don't have a place either to live or food to eat. They help people with their rent and their mortgage, or they may be able to afford their utilities, but they might not be able to afford the food. That's why they come to the Caring Place and get that. So anyway, if you have any questions about it, I've got statistics like crazy here, which are boring, actually.
There's a lot going on there, obviously.
There's so much
And
happening.
thank you for representing us there.
Okay, thank you very much. Whoops, I don't need that.
Yeah. You got anything else, Kathy?
Yes, I believe I do. Yes, please visit our welcome table in the foyer. Check out our weekly e-newsletter that's sent out every Friday morning, thanks to Carrie. And check the monthly calendar link. We post the Unity Daily Word every day on our Facebook page and on Instagram, as well as a daily prayer break. Like, share, and spread the love.
Very good. So welcome. Once again, thank you for being here, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown, a spiritual breath of fresh air. And you know, we'd like to start with a little bit of humor, and this is not part of it. Dan's going to do that in a minute. But I got to remind you, because I haven't, I don't like to talk about myself, but I will. My birthday is in 2 weeks, and the last 2 years I've been here, there's been an ongoing carrot cake competition. And it has been so tight that we have not been able to determine a definitive winner. I'm saying anything, I'm just saying, but we'll see what happens this year. So Dan is our guest comedian today.
Okay, so there was a priest and a rabbi. They were each out driving their individual cars. Somehow they crashed into each other and just destroyed both of their cars. And they crawl out of their cars, and the rabbi looks at the priest and says, "This is amazing. This is a miracle. Both our cars are completely destroyed, and yet we're unscathed. This must be God's way of saying that we should get to know each other and become good friends." And the priest said, "Yeah, this is a miracle, isn't it?" And the rabbi looks at his car and he says, "Well, here's another miracle. I have a bottle of wine in my car, and it's completely unharmed. I think that's God's way of saying that we should share this bottle of wine." Priest says, "Okay, let's do it." So he hands the priest the bottle, and the priest drinks down half of the bottle, hands it back to the rabbi. He says, "Now, here, you can go ahead and finish that off." The rabbi says, "No, I think I'm going to wait till the policeman files the report."
Let's rise and begin our service.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Get it ready for us short people. Oh, what a beautiful life we would have if we would just live by those words. No more struggle, no more strife. God is there in every present moment. So with the ringing of the bowl, let us join our hearts and our minds in community so that as one spiritual being, we can let our light and our love flow out into the world for all those to see and know.
All right, so you're listening to my Adam's apple. Today's daily word is grace. The affirmation is, through divine grace, I am abundantly blessed in every way. The inspiration for today's daily word comes from Hebrews 13:25. Grace be with all of you. Grace is an awareness that wherever I am, God is. It is my reminder to let God be God in me. Grace assures me that I am never alone on my journey through life, that no matter what I do or fail to do, I am unconditionally loved and accepted at the level of spirit. Grace touches every area of my life. In a lonely moment, grace is the overwhelming awareness that I am loved. It is the surprising way through a challenge I considered unsolvable. It is my whole body suddenly glowing with the power of divine life, even as I experience a health challenge. These are just some of the many ways I experience grace. Grace need not be, nor can it be, earned. It is a divine gift available at every moment. As I open my heart to divine grace, I am filled with indescribable peace. Please read the affirmation with me twice. Through divine grace, I am abundantly blessed in every way. Through divine grace, I am abundantly blessed in every way.
And now it is a time in our service when we light the candles of divine order. Mind, idea, and expression. We live in a universe with divine mind. And in that divine mind matrix are divine ideas. And as we let our thoughts bring in those divine ideas, we take action. And when we take action, we bring that idea into reality, no matter what that idea is. So as we think about what we want, what our intent is for this world, if it is peace and love, then we bring that idea and we put it into action. So now if you will join me in our prayer of intention. Living Spirit opens our minds, opens our hearts, and touches us all deeply with love, and sends us out as agents, agents of love, agents of peace, agents of justice. Amen. This will be the time for our children's church, and since we don't have children, I want to ask you to let that inner child out. Let it be joyful. Thank you, Kathy. No, don't, no. It's wonderful. Show that joy and that enthusiasm as we go into this service. And so now join me in our second congregational song with inner child enthusiasm.
Strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing in the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize that I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize that I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. One more time. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
We are so blessed to have such a wonderful musical team. Thank you. Thank you. And now if you will join me in unity statement of being and vision statement. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. Centered in God, we co-create a world of love, peace, and abundance. And now we'll have our inspirational song.
hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you, Dan, our rock. And now it's time in our service for our community prayer. And I want you to remember that power that lies within you. You have the power to bring change to this world. You are great beyond your belief. Embrace it. Live it. So now if there's anyone or any situation that you would like brought into this community, this circle, please repeat their name either out loud or silently, and it is done. So let's take a few minutes to go into prayer. And now, as we close our time of prayer, we close by singing an ancient prayer, a prayer handed down through the ages that affirms God's reign manifest in earth as it is in heaven, our Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not in temptation, but
Our spiritual practice today is about spiritual direction. Spiritual direction is a conversational and prayerful relationship of seeking God together through the journey of life. A powerful part of a spiritual direction session is known as holy listening. I really prefer to name it holy listening. Spiritual direction, as a spiritual director, I am not directing you what you should or should not do. I'm not trying to fix you. I'm there to hold sacred space so that you may realize that spiritual divine being, that child of God that you are, so that you may listen to that voice within and find your truth, your direction. Holy listening is when, this is a quote, when a person is fully present with another person, listening, not judging, not distracted, not analyzing, not diagnosing, and trusting that as they listen, God has joined them to offer wisdom, guidance, and healing. As we enter into holy listening, God is present, and there is an air of holiness and sacredness. And this quote is by Reverend Dr. Leanne Hadley. The purpose of holy listening is to help the spiritual direction companion, because that's what you are. You're companions in this journey of life. You're that best friend. You're that person that I can tell anything to, and they don't judge me. They simply listen. They acknowledge my presence. They acknowledge that I have the right to have the feelings I do. They acknowledge that I have my own inner wisdom that guides me to my truth and makes me make good choices to move toward health and healing. Holy listening is founded on the belief that we are all made in the image of God. Holy listening looks for the image of God in every other person. And this is so important. There are people I don't agree with. There are politicians that are not on my best view, but they too are a divine child of God. So I pray every day that they see that image of God in themselves. For we are not here to live in fear and hate. We are here to be love and light. We are here to be community, to take care of each other. Holy listening involves listening skills, but adds a vertical dimension of the presence of God. It's a combination of three. We're not there together. God is there also. God is always present. We forget that sometimes, and we try to do it all on our own. And we know how that works. We end up stressed. We end up anxious. We end up feeling defeated. But we are not. When we surrender to God's guidance, we become powerful. We know the truth, and we become that beacon of light and love that the world needs at this time. So now we're going to do just a moment of meditation. So I want you to, as you go within, realize that power that you are. Join yourself with your God within. Be grateful for all the blessings in your life and even the challenges, because those challenges wake us up and say, hey, you can't do this alone. God is there. God is always there. So now Dan will bring us back when it's time to come out of this meditation.
Though you are homeless, though you're alone, I will be your home. Whatever's the matter, whatever's been done, I will be your home. I will be your home. I will be your home. In this fearful fallen place, I will be your home. I will be your home.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Donna Sue. Today's lesson is at the home of Martha and Mary. How many of you are familiar with the story? Little bit, right? Could you kind of tell somebody what it is? Maybe, maybe not, but for the last few weeks, I have started my talks by saying that we have been on a 3-month journey learning about our beliefs. Why do we believe what we believe? And exactly what is it that we believe? You, I. Today's lesson is a new lesson for me. I've never done it. I have notes, however, from 7 years ago when I first thought about doing it, and I just didn't get around to it. I guess it wasn't the right time. So today, here we are. So when I sat down to write this lesson, the same thought about being on a journey came to my mind. But this time, there was a variation of the thought. I realized that I have not been on a 3-month journey of learning, and you probably haven't either. The fact, if you are in unity, that tells me you've probably been on a lifelong quest of learning, of discovering who you are. The journey we are on is called, proverbially, the river of life. And the vessel we are on is this lifetime, this experience. Every morning we awaken, we fuel the vessel, and we continue the journey. Along the way, we make many stops. Some stops are big stops, grand ideas, paradigm shifts. And here, we tend to spend a good while. And then there are the small ones where we just, like a quick visit, a day stop. Learning events, aha moments. In either case, the aim is always to experience and learn something new. With each new experience, we continue to expand our consciousness. Today's stop is a small little village. It is a biblical story found in the Gospel of Luke called At the Home of Martha and Mary. If you have been reading our newsletters and or are familiar with Unity teachings, then you know that Unity primarily uses the Christian model of the universe as its fundamental reference. Now, what do I say about models? Again, this is not my quote, but I do like it. All models are wrong. Some models are useful. For me, Christianity and Unity have been both very useful models. Now, is either one absolute true? I said, well, I don't know if I'd go that far because that's a big stretch. Though they have been very useful to me, there's a big difference between Unity and traditional interpretation. This lies in a few key points. Let me remind you what they are. First of all, Unity interprets the Bible allegorically. Now, we use the word metaphysically, but as a philosophy major, metaphysically means something else to me. What we're trying to say is allegorically, because the definition of an allegory is a story that has characters in it that represent some kind of an underlying moral or spiritual message. That's an allegory, and that's what we do. Second, our focus is on the life and the teachings of Jesus, and not on the theology of Paul. And the third is that these two variations allow for the profound change of making the stories in the Bible personal to each of us. That's really big. Parts of the notes I had from 2017, there was an article from a gentleman whose name is Ed Rabel, Reverend Ed Rabel, who taught at Unity School for a long time. He wrote many allegorical interpretations of biblical scripture. And one of these writings I have about this story, and I'm going to share some ideas that he has about that, what the story is trying to tell us. Let's begin by first sharing the story so that you are familiar with it. Again, found in Luke 10:38-42, 2 short paragraphs. Now, as they went on their way, he entered into a certain village, and a woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister named Mary, who also sat at the Lord's feet and heard his word. But Mary was cumbered about much serving. She came up to him and said, "Lord, dost thou not care that my sister did leave me to serve alone? Bid her, therefore, that she help me." But the Lord answered her and said, "Martha, Martha, thou art anxious and troubled about many things, but only one thing is needful. For Mary hath chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. That's it. That's the whole story. So if you knew nothing else about metaphysical or allegorical interpretation of the Bible, what would you make about the story? Not a whole lot, really. I mean, what do we got here? 2 paragraphs. Jesus is invited into someone's home, 2 sisters, Martha and Mary. Martha feels overwhelmed with the tasks at hand, and don't we all? And Mary is just chilling. Not a care in the world. Her interest is to spend time with her guest. And I mean, why would she not be? Just think about it. The Lord is in her house. Where else would she put her attention? That's how she sees it. I remember Rosemary told me, I'd never happened to me, but she said she had friends who, back in the 60s, they would invite the priest over for dinner. And if the priest came to your house, because back then, the priest was like, God's little brother or something. So if the priest came to your house, you certainly gave him the attention. Now, this is just, 60 years ago or whatever it is? Imagine 2,000 years ago, and Jesus is coming to your house. Wow, that's a big deal. But Martha can't seem to focus on that. She tries, but she's quickly distracted by the task that she has. She can't be in the moment. How often are we distracted by the tasks at hand? In the newsletter, if you read it, I asked you to consider for yourself some ideas about what is going on under the surface of the story. Now, I'm not going to ask you to share anything or nothing like that. I just wanted to consider, because if you're new to the story, like, what could possibly be going on? So let's consider some of what Reverend Rabel says about this story and the spiritual meaning behind it. He says, when we are dealing, especially with a gospel incident, on the metaphysical level, you have to make certain adjustments in your thinking and help your listeners make these adjustments also. One of the primary adjustments that you need to make on the metaphysical level, you do not deal with characters used in an incident as separate and complete human beings in themselves. You must see them as symbolic of characteristics within all people. So he's saying there's a Martha and there's a Mary in all of us. And Jesus was a master teacher, and he's using this example. Then he continues, then this incident, which is irritating and inconclusive to many people who think of these characters only in their literal meaning, is resolved. And you get the lesson that Jesus is trying to teach here. The lesson is so very simple, so very logical. That's what he says. So if you take the stories in the Bible literally, then it is about the daily lives of some people way back then. But if you take them metaphysically, as we say, then it is about things that happen to all people. It's symbolism. Listen to what Reverend Rabel says again. Now, when you go to this incident, as Jesus must have seen it, you see that Jesus is telling the reader who has eyes to see. I love that. We hear it a lot in the Gospel of Mary. Who has eyes to see that Martha and Mary, being sisters, stand for 2 good, useful components in femininity in all human souls, and the feminine nature of every soul, which is primarily feelings typified in these 2 wonderful sisters. Martha shows the feelings and concerns for having, for doing, for serving, for being busy in outer ways to fulfill that desire that we all have We all want to serve in certain ways. But Mary, on the other hand, stands for our feelings concerning and maintaining that inner contact and communication with the Christ within, which requires not busyness, not doingness, but receptivity and stillness. Thus, Jesus tells Martha, Mary has chosen the good part, and it will not be taken from her. Notice, too, that Martha is upset, perturbed, because she's saying, Jesus, please, get this woman to help me. I need some help here. And Reverend Rabel points out that when we, and this is obvious, that when we have all these disturbing moments that come into our lives, they invariably come from the outside, from our concern with outer matters, from our Martha side of our nature. Interesting that this week at LGM Downtown, I shared a video with the group about Taoism. It was something new to me, actually. And I looked it up just to remind myself what it was. It says, one of Tao's most important concepts is Wei Wei, which is sometimes translated as non-doing or non-action. Or a better way to think of it is as a paradox, the action of non-action. It's a paradox. Wu Wei refers to the cultivation of a state of being in which our actions are quite effortlessly in alignment with the ebb and flow of the elemental cycles of the natural world. It is a kind of going with the flow that is characterized by great ease and awareness, in which, without even trying, we're able to respond perfectly to whatever situations arise. The Taoist principle of Wei Wei has similarities to the goal in Buddhism of not clinging to the idea of an individual ego. A Buddhist who relinquishes ego in favor of acting through the influence of inherent Buddha nature is behaving in a very Taoist manner. I noted to the people downtown that I have always, since I was young, been attracted to that Eastern philosophy, that Eastern way of doing things. And oddly enough, when I joined the Navy, what side of the world did I end up in? That one, for some reason. And there it is. And in fact, this guy came from over there. I think he was Singapore, where I picked up this little unk a long time ago. So this Eastern, blending of Eastern and Western thought, science and religion, the inner and the outer, has always made sense to me. Always. I've shared with you before that when I was in electronic technology in the 70s, I learned of the electromagnetic spectrum. And that represented a model of life for me, and it's that I still hold today. That it is a continuum. Life is nothing but frequencies, one after the other, and we tend to group things into X waves, or beta waves, or this rays, or the visible, or the audio wave range. But that's just an arbitrary thing. That's just where they happen to fall. I also learned about transistors at the time. Before they really don't use them as transistors anymore. They're switches. A transistor is just a switch. And they operate either on or off. And the words are saturation and cutoff. Extremes. And so that's how they're on and off, which is how we do binary code. And so before they used them exclusively as switches, they had a name for a part of the transistor that was in the middle. It's called the quiescent point, the Q point. I thought, wow, and this is back then. Wow, this is the Buddhist middle of the road idea. And in that place, in the middle of that cycle, because it starts here, goes up, goes down, goes and that up here. Right in the middle is the cue point, and in that spot, that transistor is purring like a kitten. It's just in that sweet spot. And I made the analogy, I don't know, it was just crazy. So this week when I saw this WeWay thing, I thought, all right, I like it. I've been running a church, Unity Church now for 14 years. And I have used this WeWay approach to doing things along the way. Because, things come up. People are still people. And I've used this approach, and it's worked time and time again. So, and it's not just a Tao or a Buddhist thing. Jesus said it too. Resist not evil. Turn the other cheek. What you resist persists. I've learned to not give power to certain situations. Don, can I get a little music, please? So along these lines, I want you to consider today's lesson. The story is a reminder that most of us express ourselves mostly from our Martha nature. Our overall concern is about the outer world and all the little things that we need to do. What do we got to get put on the shopping list? This, that, and it goes on and on. And we all know it's true. It also reminds us that being in the Martha nature tends to bring disruption and turmoil to our lives. It is a very simple lesson, as Reverend Rabel said earlier. Can we be in the present moment without continually being distracted by the outer events? Can we stay focused when we are in the presence of the Lord? Let me ask you, can you watch a sunset and enjoy its beauty without having a need to turn your attention to whatever task you have at hand? Can you be in the spirit of the law without being summoned by the letter of the law? How about Sunday mornings? Can you be present for an hour and remain fully present the entire hour without thinking about all the things that you need to do later this afternoon? What's for lunch? Let me check my phone. Do I have any messages? Though we know that the divine is within all of us, the time here together is an opportunity to mindfully be in the presence of our divinity as a community. In short, can you be the Mary in that story? Because if you can, then good for you. You have made the right choice. And if you can't, Jesus is not rebuking Martha or anybody else. He's just telling us, this is a lesson. Think about it. This is what you need to work on. And that is today's simple message about the story of Martha and Mary for those who have eyes to see.
I've faced a mountain that I've never faced before. That's why I'm calling on you, Lord. I know it's been a while, but Lord, please hear my prayer. I need you like I never have before. Sometimes it takes a mountain, sometimes a troubled sea, Sometimes it takes a desert to get a hold of me. Your love is so much stronger than whatever troubles me. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. Let go my troubles I thought I could control. Whatever life would throw my way. But this, I will admit, brought me to my knees. I need you, Lord, and I'm not ashamed to say, oh, sometimes it takes a mountain. Sometimes a troubled sea. Sometimes it takes a desert to get a hold of me. Your love is so much stronger than whatever troubles me. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. Sometimes it takes a mountain. Sometimes a troubled sea. Sometimes it takes a desert to get a hold of me. Your love is so much stronger than whatever troubles me. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. Sometimes it takes a mountain to trust you and believe. Oh, I believe.
Music is so powerful. That's better than any talk I've ever heard. So,
So please join me now in. So please join me now in our offering blessing. Through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
Everything I see, everything I do is blessed by your hand, God. I give it back to you. Everything I give, every thought that's true is magnified and kind, God. I give it back to you.
Join me in our love offering dedication. We bless and dedicate these tithes and offerings as an expression of divine love, and we release them to manifest that love in our community and in our world. And we bless the children of the world. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Final announcements, Donna Sue. What? Hey, you're pretty flexible there, Donna Sue. Donna Sue's our fair chaplain. And these are all the people that participated in today's service. What other announcements are there? Anything else? Not really, right? Well, in that case, let's end with our love song, with our peace song. I have exited the building.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I am light. I am love. I am power. I am presence. I am. Have a blessed week.